enjoying this beautiful piano music brought to us by our guest musician today, David Roth. And I hate to even cut him off to start the service because it's so beautiful. Thank you so much, David.
You're welcome.
Good morning and welcome to Unity of the Hill Country, Kerrville, Texas. We appreciate you joining us online, and if you're on Facebook Live or here with us on Zoom, we're so excited to have you with us this morning. And if you're watching later and watching the recording, we appreciate you being with us. We're going to open with a song, My Life is a Prayer by Stowe Good, which is Stowe Daly and Karen Taylor Good. You might recognize those two names from the Posse music world.
What if a prayer is not a plea, a desperate call with tears that fall on bended knee, but breathing out and breathing in, it's God in me that lives and breathes, my trusted friend. My life is a prayer that God is praying. My thoughts are words that God is saying. My laughter is the sound of angels playing. My life is a prayer that God is praying. What if today I had the chance to move and sway? God leads the way in my life's dance. What if I knew, without a doubt, no need to fear, God's right here within, without. My life is a prayer that God is praying. My thoughts are words that God is saying. My laughter is the sound of angels playing. My life is a prayer that God is My life is a prayer that God is praying. My thoughts are words that God is saying. My laughter is the sound
that song. It's just so perfect for this month, as we are, our topic for the month is prayer. And I'm talking right now, but I'm also looking for Mandy's name because we did not make her co-host earlier, so she can't let people in when they join a little late. So I'm looking for Mandy Scott's name. Sorry, I can't pray and do administrative stuff on the computer at the same time. So give me just a second. I'll go ahead and admit everyone else who's in the waiting room. And for some reason, I cannot find Mandy Scott's name on this attendee list. So I cannot make her a co-host. Okay, so I don't know if she dropped off or what happened, but for some reason, or maybe I'm just anxious because we didn't get that done beforehand. Anyway, so you've seen behind the curtain, the magic of Oz. This is our Zoom world that we're living in at the moment. And let's just take a moment. My life is a prayer. So let's just take that into a moment of prayer as we get centered. Let's take a deep breath in together and slowly release that breath. Another deep breath in. And it was, as we release that breath, we just let go of all the busyness of the morning. We simply allow ourselves to become present to this moment and this time. Fully present, fully aware, fully open, hearts and minds and spirit. We sanctify this time together for the highest and best for everyone concerned. And we just say thank you, thank you, thank you for this opportunity to be together today. Okay, our opening statement at Unity of the Hill Country is, there is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the good, the omnipotent. We say that every week. It's our first unity principle. It's the foundation of everything. This understanding that there's really only good and everything is always working together for good is just the most powerful statement we can possibly make. A few announcements today. Lost Christianities is still meeting, and Patsy's doing an amazing job facilitating that discussion. If you like studies of the Bible, you really will learn some interesting things if you join. She's a great facilitator. The book study that we started at the end of August is now in, we've had 2 sessions. You can find the recordings online if you want to get caught up. You can find them either on our website or our YouTube page. We won't be meeting tomorrow. The group decided that we would not have a class on Labor Day. So you have time to get caught up. If you'd like to join us, we're studying Eric Butterworth's The Universe is Calling, Opening to the Divine Through Prayer. And we're also covering that to a degree in my talks, and we'll be adding in some other, but this book is so rich and so, every page has just depth of thought-provoking information in it and ways of thinking to raise our consciousness about prayer and how prayer works in the world and who we are in relation to prayer. So this week is the reason we're having prayer as our topic for September is that it's every year in September we have World Day of Prayer, and it's Wednesday and Thursday of this week, September 9th and 10th. And it'll be broadcast live on Facebook and on YouTube. So you can find the schedule if you're interested in specific speakers or you want to hear Eddie Watkins Jr. I mean, this guy is so great. He is Motown and he's New Thought and he's just a great entertainer. And speaking of great entertainers, we're really blessed today to have back with us. You might remember David Roth from May. He was one of our special guest artists in May. And he is with us today. And I'll give you a little bit more introduction about David, but you would have seen his bio on our website and also the email that came out about today. And so you're really going to enjoy his music and his presence. That was him playing the piano so beautifully during our prelude time. And I really appreciate him being available. And, you know, sometimes we just find a blessing in everything. We're having to do these remote virtual things, but, you know, we get to have these wonderful artists that we wouldn't necessarily get to have unless they happen to be traveling through South Central Texas. So we're very fortunate to be able to bring them on through Zoom and enjoy their special gifts and talents. So let's take a moment now and focus on prayer chest. You know, Unity was founded on prayer, and there's been prayer going on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for over 130 years at Unity Village in Missouri. Silent Unity is a prayer ministry. This is the mailing address, the email, and the phone number that you see here on the screen. You can submit prayers, you can call them and have someone pray with you. And I encourage you to do that. It's so powerful. Anytime someone is talking with me about a recurring challenge that they're having, like on a daily basis, I'm like, call Silent Unity every day if you want to. That really is a powerful choice to make for your own well-being. It's a beautiful experience. You can just feel the prayer enfolding you as they pray with you. So in this moment, we're not, you know, we have our beautiful little prayer chest there in the picture and our Christ candle that's lit, acknowledging that we're evoking the Christ within, and that light represents the light that is living and shining through all of us. So we join together in prayer because we know the power of prayer. We know that as our wayshower Jesus taught us, we claim our good in prayer. So if you haven't had an opportunity to submit a prayer, you can go online at our website as well. You could call Mandy in the office Monday through Thursday, 10 to 2. You can mail it in. But if you have something on your mind today, just put it out there right now. Let's just take a moment for you to just send your prayers out into our virtual prayer box, our prayer chest of consciousness. We close our eyes together and we take a deep breath in. We pause at the top of that breath and we just slowly release. The breath connects us mind, body, and spirit. And it also connects us one with another in this moment. Whether you're here on Zoom, you're watching on Facebook, or you're watching later, you're in this moment with us. You're in this consciousness of prayer. The consciousness we pray from, knowing that all things work together for good, knowing that that activating power of love, that consciousness of prayer is always working through us and as us. Whether your request today is for health or well-being or finances, there's no prayer too great or too small for that absolute good in this universe that we know as God, that substance that is through and as and expressing fully in every form. And in this moment, we claim every request, the outworking of absolute good, for each and every one. We know that this is fact, this is truth with a capital T. This is what we've been taught, and this is what we've experienced when we allow ourselves to be in this presence, in this consciousness of absolute good. And we just say, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for the privilege and the pleasure of knowing this truth. And so it is. Amen. The mission and vision statement of Unity of the Hill Country is to live consciously, celebrating the divine potential in all moments, all people, all places, all circumstances. We claim this, we know this, we see it. We see it because we claim it. And we live consciously in that awareness so that we can experience that outworking in our lives. Our daily word reader today was supposed to be Mandy, but she texted me and said she got kicked out.
I'm here.
And are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
Yes. Okay, today, this morning, the daily word is world peace. I imagine a world transformed by peace and love. World peace begins within my mind and heart. Closing my eyes, I breathe deeply and envision every person bringing forth the love and peace of God. I see all the world's people surrounded by a healing light that transforms strife, anger, and division into reconciliation, peace, and unity. As I hold this vision, I see the entire world aglow with radiance. Harmony and cooperation heal the world's wounds and encourage love to flower in each person's heart. I carry this vision throughout my day. Divine love, expressing as me, sees oneness regardless of apparent differences. Divine wisdom and understanding illumine my thoughts, inspire my words, and guide me to act in ways that bring peace to the world. From Matthew 5:9, it says, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God."
Thank you, Mandy. I'm glad you were able to get back in after you got booted out. Now it's time for our special music by David Roth. And I sent out yesterday David's complete bio, but he's just an all-around performer and teacher and songwriter and musician. He's really an entertainer, just full scope. He's great at telling stories and weaving his songs through stories, and we're just excited to hear from him right now.
Good morning, everybody. It's great to be back in Kerrville, where I've been many times, thanks to the folk festival out at the ranch. I believe we're leading into meditation with this, so I've got a song called Prelude to Meditation. And if you've ever heard of the great songwriters from Colorado, Jan Garrett and J.D. Martin, Jan and I wrote this one together a few years back. There's a thundering sound inside my heart I feel with an open palm. It's a yearning that pierces every part. It's the roaring of noiseless calm. There is something inside that I can trust above all commotion and din. It is when I am willing to slow down and quietly go within. It is cool, it is constant and steady. It is life without all the distractions. It's a pond without ripples, a sky without clouds. It is constant and silent action. And even where doubt has found me, I am stronger than suffering and fear. I am more than the imprint that bound me, that I used to survive all these years. There's a thundering sound inside my heart I feel with an open hand. It's a yearning that pierces every part, right down to a grain of sand. There is something inside that I can trust above all commotion and din. It is when I am willing to slow down and quietly go within.
Thank you, David. That's a perfect song in preparation for meditation. I think he's taken us all within. So let's close our eyes together and again begin with a deep breath in. Slowly releasing that breath, dropping into this moment, letting our shoulders fall, allowing the chair to fully support the weight of our bodies. Bringing the attention to the breath. Notice how the breath rises and falls. You may notice it in your chest. You may notice it in your belly. Just give yourself a moment to connect with that energizing breath. Breathing in is energizing, breathing out is relaxing. As we become still, we allow our mind to become quiet. We bring our focus deep within. Deeper and deeper still to the very center of our being. Your secret place of the Most High. You've been here before. It's where you began this journey of life. From the very center of you, allow that life force energy, that prana, that chi, to move through every cell of your body. Energizing, enlivening, and expanding out. Connecting in consciousness with like-minded people throughout the world. We repose in this expanded state of consciousness in a moment of silence. Remaining in this open state, we'll listen to this song by Sue Riley, When I'm Quiet in Prayer.
When I'm quiet in prayer, I open my heart. I open my heart. When I'm quiet in prayer, I open my heart. Hallelujah. When I'm quiet in prayer, I let go of fear. I let go of fear. When I'm quiet in prayer, I let go of fear. Hallelujah. When I'm quiet in prayer, I see only love. I see only love. When I'm quiet in prayer, I see only love. Hallelujah.
So we just stay in that state of openness, mind, body, and spirit. And we say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. So that felt good. David's song was perfect lead into meditation. And Sue's song somewhat reminds me of us singing together, the Alleluia, as we did every week when we could be together. And it leads right into my talk, relax and release. Unity has a 5-step prayer process, and it begins with that relaxation, that dropping in. That's why We always talk about the breath and letting go. Relaxing, being in the present moment, allowing our mind to turn off, gives us that. So I got some kind of weird message. I don't know if you were hearing me. I think you can hear me now, right? Okay, technology. Our vibe got so high, everything's all getting weird. So anyway, I'm not sure what you heard and what you didn't hear, but hopefully you heard what I was sharing with you about our intention today being relax and release. That's the topic. So we've been on Mondays talking about The Universe is Calling, the book by Eric Butterworth, Opening to the Divine Through Prayer. The divine is another word for God, as is the universe, as is substance, source. There's so many words that we use in place of God, especially in unity, but across all the religions. But because God sometimes is such a limiting idea, because we've been taught and we've been conditioned that God is a certain thing in our life. And sometimes we've been taught Old Testament ideas of God that anthropomorphize God. So this book is a wonderful resetting of your understanding of God, of prayer, and why prayer works in your life. I shared this quote with you last week, but I wanted to bring it back because this is really the essence of everything in understanding prayer. He says, prayer is reflecting in silence on the source of all mind, all life, all substance, dynamically present within us as a potential that can be realized. This is such an important statement because we often think reflecting in silence is meditation. And he basically says meditation is the core of prayer, because the whole point of meditation is to get us connected with that place within us that Jesus called the Christ, that consciousness, that Christ consciousness, that place from which we pray. And that's what we talked about last week. So if you weren't with us last week, you can go back and look at that recording. The talk was pray from this consciousness, that there's that dynamic substance, that energy that's present within us. And it's just there all the time. It's active all the time. That's why we say our thoughts and our words are prayers, because that energy is always there, dynamic, and we activate it through our thoughts and through our prayers. And last week I also said, that adage, prayer is talking to God and meditation is listening to God. And I was talking with Norma Leonard this week and telling her that I'd asked you to kind of forget that, drop that way of looking at it, because that's separating prayer and meditation. And we had quite a long talk about it. And really we were saying the same thing. The act of listening is what it's all about, because he does share in this book that the answer and the issue or the concern are one. So when you have a challenge or you have a disharmony or you have a desire, the answer is already there. So praying for the solution is not, it's not an effective way of praying. Pray from the consciousness, that awareness that there is a solution, and then become quiet and listen, and then you can divine the answer. You can receive it. I hate to say receive because it sounds like it's coming from somewhere else. You allow the answer to unfold and become aware in your consciousness. He also says a personal experience of oneness, something that we do, not for God, but in and for ourselves, something we do to lift ourselves to a transcendental awareness of God. That awareness of God that's beyond the physical, that experiential knowledge of God. Because you really can't tell someone about God, and you can't even really tell somebody about your experience of God. In the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu wrote, once you say the word, that which you can call the Tao is no longer the Tao. Because once you start talking, you're coming from the human consciousness as opposed to the consciousness of the Tao or God or nature, that which is greater and the collective of all of us. Once you try to talk about it, even though you want to relate with someone and you want to try to help someone understand, until they've had their own experience of it, all they can do is hear you, but they won't quite get it until they make the commitment to have the intention and the awareness to connect with that consciousness of God, that greater good in this universe. He says, God is a deeper dimension of yourself expressing as you. Now he says expressing himself as you, and I just kind of made that really small because God doesn't have a gender. So himself or herself or whatever, however you want to say it, but we could just leave that word out. God is a deeper dimension of yourself expressing as you. God, yourself, and you. You're different dimensions of the same source, the same energy. That's why you pray from the consciousness of it is done. You claim your good, as Jesus taught us. You pray from that consciousness. The Buddha said, what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. A lot of times people resist this idea that they're an expression of God, that God that we've put out on a cloud for so long is actually living within us, expressing as us. It's a big responsibility once you really get a hold of that, and once you really understand, it is a responsibility, because then you do have to be aware of your words. You can't just make offhanded remarks and cut people and hurt people, because you're God. You're the energy of God. You may not be acting, you're acting more from your human nature when you're doing things like that. But when you're aware of this truth, you become more mindful. You become more aware of how you live and move and have your being, because that energy, that force is within you. And most importantly, when you are being more from that human and smaller self, you feel out of alignment. You don't feel like yourself. You don't feel as good in your own skin, because you know who you are. You know you are divine. Emmett Fox was a writer for The Science of Mind. Many of you probably have read plenty of Science of Mind text. And he wrote, when you hold resentment against anyone, and I put in, or anything, you are bound to that person or that circumstance by a cosmic link. He says, a really rough metal chain. So that means painful. A painful link holds you to whatever it is that you're resenting. You are tied by a cosmic tie to the very thing you hate. The thing you hate is inexorably a part of your consciousness. The one person or situation in the world whom you most dislike is the very one to whom you are attaching yourself by a hook that is stronger than steel. Those negative feelings that you hold towards any person, any situation, the negative feelings attach you to it. You cannot free yourself from it. as long as you allow yourself the luxury of holding on to those negative feelings. Plenty of you probably have done different kinds of workshops and therapies. And I know for me, years ago, there was one where it was, put that person in a boat and send them down the river and then cut the golden cords that bind you. I did that exercise over and over and over in one particular situation. And it got a little bit better each time. But you know what? Until I really owned the attachment I had to the story and I let it go, sending that boat down the river was not getting me where I needed to go. It had to come from within, a consciousness of forgiveness for myself, for being in the situation where I got hurt, for perceiving the person's actions as hurtful. It takes self-reflection to do this, what they call in the 12-step programs, a personal inventory. And sometimes we're the person who's hurt someone, and we need to do our own personal inventory and then amends. All of that work is so powerful, and it frees you. Thich Nhat Hanh, who is a Buddhist monk, a Vietnamese Buddhist monk, and everyone probably has read some of his writings or heard of him. He says, letting go gives us freedom. And freedom is the only condition for happiness. Freedom is the only condition for happiness. If in our heart we still cling to anything, anger, anxiety, or possessions, we cannot be free. Clinging, that energy, we hold that energy, we attach ourselves with negative emotions, we attach ourselves with judgment and resentment. The whole purpose of raising our consciousness and being in a moment of prayer is to free ourselves so that we can pray from that consciousness. Because when you have these other things, even if it's unrelated to whatever you're praying about, if you have unforgiveness or you have judgment, it is holding you back. It's holding back the effectiveness of your prayer. Where you're praying from is being blocked by your own choices. I hope you're hearing that. In Matthew 5:23 and 24, in the Bible, it says, so when you are offering your gift at the altar, which means when you're going within, if you remember that your brother or sister has something against you, leave your gift there before the altar and go. First, be reconciled to your brother or sister, and then come and offer your gift. So if you're sitting down for your prayer and your meditation time, and someone comes to mind and you're having some thoughts, do your prayer work in that moment and release yourself and the other person, and then come back to your meditation. Because these things come up when we quiet our mind, all that stuff that we've shoved away, all those things, all those thoughts we've had against another person or something someone said or whatever it is, they come up, they come to the surface, and sometimes in the middle of the night. And one thing I like to do is use the Ho'oponopono prayer. If something comes up, and I think this is often the case, right? We think we've already done that work. We think we've already forgiven them. We think we've already forgiven ourselves. But when you do the Ho'oponopono prayer, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you for forgiving me. I love you. That can soothe, that can release you from that. You don't have to go directly back to that person unless you need to for your relationship's sake. But if it's a relationship that's over and you're still carrying something forward, or a moment, something that happened, you're still holding on to those negative thoughts that are holding you back from your true ability to connect in meditation and to pray from that higher consciousness, that's a simple yet very powerful way, the Ho'oponopono prayer. He says the interesting thing is that many times, just in the process of letting go, we open the answering flow immediately. And the problem is solved, or the condition is healed, with no further prayer effort required. So it happens on that cosmic level. When we let go of something that's holding us back, we don't really need to do a whole lot else because it's already in divine order in the universe. We're the ones that's blocking our ability to see it and experience it. So letting go, releasing those resentments or those judgments, it just allows everything to fall into place. And I shared this one with you last week, but I want to remind you, you begin with a consciousness of God and then project it by means of powerful spoken words. So we go into that quiet place to connect with that consciousness of God, that mind of Christ. And then our words, when we come from that consciousness, when we're praying from that higher place in our own consciousness, because we are an expression of the divine, we're an expression of God, then that power, I mean, you can see it. You can see it happen in your life, but you can't pray from that consciousness and pray begging and pleading and contracting, because it's a different energy. Oh, I need this so bad. No, you have to go in from that consciousness of all is well, all is in divine order, and then pray those powerful spoken words. So basically, he gives a little simple 3-step process. Relax, go within, and then affirm the good. Claim your good as Jesus taught us. Relax and go within, and then affirm. So finally, he says, as we get a greater perception of our relationship to the universe, there is no one to pray to. Only a universal flow to get into, a spiritual energy to pray from. This was the message from last week, but I need to keep repeating it because for a lot of people, this is such a change from the old consciousness that I'm saying those rote prayers to the God outside of myself. It is a consciousness that you're praying from, and it will change your life. I guarantee it. So this week, your weekly practice is to get in the flow. Get in that flow, that divine flow, and pray from that divine flow. Relax and go within, as David sang to us. Listen, and then release anything that comes up that brings you out of that consciousness of God, and allow yourself that experience of the consciousness of God and the outworking of that consciousness, which is your prayer results. You'll see it. I guarantee it. And you can send me a note at minister@unityhillcountry.org with your prayer successes, because if you really do this practice, you will see massive change in your life. So now we will finish up with some more amazing music by our guest artist, David Roth. And you can find out more about David and his music and buy his CDs at davidrothmusic.com.
Thank you. Beautiful message. I just jotted a couple things down, so I have a little pre-song, tiny little song that will go into the song on a second guitar I was planning to play. But you know what happens when we make plans, don't you? So, world premiere. It'll probably never be sung the same way again, but I always believe if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much room. So, here goes something. It's short. Oh, what lies behind, what lies ahead, does not compare to what lies within. I release the grip, and this I know, freedom comes from letting go. Relax and release, relax and release. This is a way you may find inner peace. The world is so noisy, the volume's increased. I fall back on this, relax and release. That's the chorus. I'll do it again. Relax and release, relax and release. This is a way you may find inner peace. The world is so noisy, the volume's increased. I fall back on this, relax and release. I fall back on this, relax. You sing it. I fall back on this, relax and release. Well, there. And here's what I was planning to play, and I think this will fit well too. It's kind of a sing-along, and even though we're on Zoom and you're all muted, I can feel the vibe. And this is a new song too, written in lockdown, as it were. When I've been thinking about all the things I'd like to see more of in the world. Can you think of something you'd like to see more of in the world? I'm looking for more kindness in this world. I'm looking for more kindness in this world. If it's there and I don't see it, I guess I'm gonna get to be it. I'm just looking for more kindness in this world. Sing with me. I'm looking for more kindness in this world. Same thing. I am looking for more kindness in this world. If it's there and I don't see it, if it's there and I don't see it, I guess I'm gonna get to be it. I'm just looking for more kindness in this world. What else? I'm looking for more calm in this world. I am looking for more calm in this world. If it's there and I don't see it, I guess I'm gonna get to be it. I am just looking for more calm in this world. Oh, this is what I'm seeing. We're in trouble, A to Z, and there's no quick solution anyone is willing to make. Even though it may be glaring, it is time to be more daring, and it's time to be more caring, for goodness sake, goodness sake. I'm looking for more grace in this world. I am looking for more grace in this world. If it's there and I don't see it, I guess I'm gonna get to be it. I'm just looking for more grace in this. Here's another one I've been thinking about. I'm looking for compassion in this world. I am looking for compassion in this world. If it's there and I don't see it, I guess I'm gonna get to be it. I'm just looking for compassion in this world. And I'm looking for more prayer in this world. I'm looking for more prayer in this world. If it's there and I don't see it, I guess I'm gonna get to be it. I'm just looking for more prayer in this world. This is what I'm seeing. We're in trouble, A to Z. There's no quick solution anyone is willing to make. Even though it may be glaring, it is time to be more daring, and it's time to be more caring, for goodness sake. I'm looking for more loving in this world. I am looking for more loving in this world. If it's there and I don't see it, I guess I'm gonna have to be it. I'm just looking for more loving in this world. I'm looking for more kindness in this world. I'm looking for more calm in this world. I'm looking for compassion in this world. I'm looking for more loving in this world. I'm looking for more justice in this world. I'm looking for more kindness in this world. I'm looking for more kindness in this world.
Thank you. And you'll see people giving you the quiet applause out there.
I hear it. I hear it.
You'll hear them at the end, because we'll connect everybody back in with, let's see. That was David Roth. Thank you so much, David.
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, so this is just our time where we acknowledge the gifts that you've been giving, you've continued to give by online and mailing into Unity of the Hill Country here in Kerrville, Texas. And it really makes a difference. It's keeping us going and, holding that place for when we can come back together, whenever that may be. So let's just bless those gifts right now with our offertory prayer. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I send it forth with my blessings and my love. And we close out with our prayer of protection by James Dillett Freeman. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. God is expressing as you. So it is. So we'll see you next week again virtually. Bring a friend to our virtual. It's so easy to bring them because you don't have to drag them and make them get dressed. So now we will open up all the lines so everyone can say hello.
Good morning.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
We'll go on gallery view so everyone can see.
Yeah.
Say hello to David and thank him.
Hi.
David, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Hi, everybody. How you doing?
Andy.
Some of you folks need to unmute yourself so we can say hello to you. George has joined us for the first time. Hi, Donna. I see Mandy's not working today, so she was able to join.
No.
Hi,
Rosia.
Jack.
Hi, BK.
And Judy's on with us, and Kara. Hi, Hetty, Alan, and
Hello.
Paul.
Hi, Barb.
Alan.
Kathleen,
Both of you.
BK, Mark and Gayleen, Danny. It's so good to see everybody.
Yeah.
We miss everybody.
Yeah. That's the hardest thing is not being able to come together face to face right now.
Correct.
But it's fun to be able to do this. And if you join us
yes.
on Monday,
That's
BK, you're
a pleasure.
still on mute. Anybody have something fun they want to share? Paul, Alan?
Grateful for the rain.
Yes.
Yeah,
Grateful for the rain.
I'm happy to be off. I'm happy to be off on a Sunday so I can be here.
I'm so glad you could join us.
I enjoyed that verse about Matthew 5:23-24. It's like what I always thought was that it says, if you remember you have aught against your brother, go out and make right. And that's not what it says. It says, if you remember that your brother has aught against you. So I kind of turns
Well, it's both ways. Yeah.
But then if you remember it, that means you're holding something too. More complex than I remember.
All right. Well, if everybody's going to be shy.
I'll be bold for a minute. I have a free online concert 2 weeks from tomorrow, September 21st, Monday night, 7 o'clock Eastern time, which is 1 hour later. It would be 6 o'clock Texas time. It's free on my Facebook page. So if you want to drop in between 7 and 8 p.m. Eastern time, which was 6 and 7, there's a free concert. I'll do an hour's worth of music, and you're all most heartily welcome. Just go to my Facebook page. You'll find me, David Roth, and scroll around till you see someone moving on the page, and you'll stumble onto a free concert for an hour a couple of weeks from tomorrow night.
Yeah, and if they go to your Facebook page and follow you, they'll get a notice anytime you go live.
Well, I might have to if they start following me, I might have to take out a restraining order, but
Facebook is the only place that it's okay to follow people, right? Well, Insta, all the social media. Otherwise, it could be dangerous.
Yeah. Like you said in your talk, words are powerful. Words are powerful.
Yes, they are. They create. And Mandy does post a lot of when we get the Empower notices about the concerts each week, Mandy puts them on our Facebook page so that people can see that it's out there and they can join. So we'll do a reminder because we have that Monday class, but I'll make a note to remember to invite people to come to that before we get together for our discussion class.
Oh, good. So they'll give you something to talk about.
Well, it'll get us in the right frame of mind before we talk about prayer.
Okay.
That was a great song, David. The mini song was wonderful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's very new.
In the moment. I love that. I'm excited to hear.
Is an inspiration.
I'm excited to hear how it unfolds. If you further develop it, let us know so we can. If you do.
Entirely possible. You know, I've been doing some online songs for a gal named Martha Creek. I don't know if you're familiar with her, but she does the work. Yeah, Martha and I work together a fair amount, and you know, I'm writing notes constantly while I'm listening to her, and I've gotten you know, some good songs out of that when I wasn't really looking, you know, but when I come to spiritual leaders like you or Martha or so many others, you know, you have done all the hard work and the heavy lifting, and you've condensed it all into something that a simple-minded songwriter like me can reshape and reform. So thanks for doing all the legwork.
My pleasure. I'm glad that you were listening. And I love that. For me, it's thrilling whenever the songwriters come up with something, you know, out of the talk. It's just, I find it exciting because that which moves through me, that guides me to put the talk together, is the same thing that moves through you. And so that's just evidence of that.
Yeah, I don't know if you've had my friend Harold Payne visit your church.
Yeah.
But he's the master of making up improv songs, and I've known Harold for more than 10 years, and when we first started seeing Harold do that thing where he would make up a song, we were all like, oh. And now, because of him, we're all doing it, you know, and it's really sweet. And the biggest takeaway for me, and I don't mean to be talking so much, but the biggest takeaway for me is it gives me permission to fail, to fall flat on my face, to be less than perfect. Anything can happen, and that's just another present moment, you know, so I don't have to be wedded to this idea of perfection or polish or anything. It just totally allows me to be in the moment and just whatever happens, good, bad, or indifferent.
And what comes out of it is exciting. And Harold did write a song when he was with us, and I think he's back maybe next week is his next time up. So yeah, we'll probably get another impromptu song out of him.
I'll bet you will, and tell him I said a big hello. We talk all the time too.
Okay, I will.
Okay, and the meek shall inherit the earth. Just
That's right out of the Beatitudes, you know, and
yeah.
Yes. Well, we can be humble and amazing at the same time. You know?
Yes.
You can be
yeah.
creative and show all of your talents and your gifts and your co-creative ability, and still be meek and humble, and know that it's the source, right? It's that divine source.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, it was wonderful to have you with us, David, and it was awesome to have all you guys here today. I love you. Namaste. Have a wonderful holiday weekend.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.